Well, good morning. Today's the 18th of March, and we are up to day 30, which is, well, as every day past 4 weeks has been pretty good going so far. So it's pretty exciting. Turns out my predictions were shit. I was up a bunch last night. It was hot and it was wet outside and noisy and all the rest, so that didn't really help me get much sleep. But I did end up getting some good sleep, so that was good. And that's about as far as I'm going to go with the physical stuff. Today I'll be visiting the third part of the trifecta I like to call people I can't bullshit. On Saturday I sat with a friend of mine who's basically a supercomputer. Yesterday I visited my personal trainer, who's the super coach. He's someone I can't really bullshit physically past. And then the guy today is the physio, who is the human x-ray. So between the three of them, you have the supercomputer, the super coach, and the human x-ray, all in 1 week. Feels like I've been stretched out and scrubbed clean a little bit, so I'm a little bit nervous about hanging out with him today. But I normally get good advice from him, and he tends to be a no-nonsense kind of person. If he sees that you are spending a lot of time buggering about or in the wrong positions, he'll be more than happy to tell you, hey, you need to sit on your chair less, or you need to get up and move around more. So that's good. I guess the only way to sort of top that off would be a kick in the balls or a punch in the gut for like a nice physical shaming to top it all off. But I'm not going to go looking for any of that. It was interesting yesterday when I was training with my PT to hear him talk about one of his friends who struggles or does still smoke a lot, and how he smoked a lot when he was younger too, and how he actually understood how it held him back, and how he chose, essentially the decision for him was, I have to be an adult. And it was kind of similar to my turning around of it, was that with video games in particular, it was about becoming an adult and not sort of dwelling in this fantasy world where everything is catered for you and everything is put on, it's put on in a game onto a television, and you just sit there with a controller and you're connected to it. It's adult life is much harder than that, and if you want to be successful at it, you have to be better than just playing video games. And all that, all the chatter that you hear about, video games help you develop goal setting and small accomplishments and blah blah blah. It's like, well, yeah, no, it does, but none of that shit really matters unless you're a streamer and you're making money off of it, or you're a professional gamer and you're making money off of it that way. Just playing video games compulsively isn't going to get you further ahead in life. So yeah, it's not really the thing you're looking for, at least not in my opinion anyway. But yeah, it was nice to have one of my sort of role models talk about the fact that he had done it when he was younger, and how he had sort of aimed to kind of finish it in his 30s, and it was valuable to me. Because the rest of my role models are likely people who don't or haven't ever really dealt with that. I think probably the most likely one is maybe alcoholism would be the one that I would say, but I don't even think even then you could call the person an alcoholic. So, excuse me. Anyway, short one this morning. Like I said, I'm heading out to the physio, which means that I need to go get changed and dressed up and get my head right. Yeah, but otherwise, like I said, day 30, feeling good, moving forward, keeping busy. For anyone who's watching this, or anyone who ends up watching this, just stick with it. You're going to get into this period of time where you're not going to have new things to report about your quitting, and your journals might start to get short. My suggestion is that you soldier on. With the journals, particularly, you keep going with the journals. I mean, if it's taking up a lot of time, maybe you could cut back on it. But if you're doing it like I am, and it's first thing in the morning, and it's just a few lines, like in a journal like this, something takes 5-10 minutes to knock out. Constantly practicing that for when you hit new things in life. You may find that you stop talking about the quitting, and you actually start talking about other things, maybe other things that you observed. And if that happens, go with that. Go with those things. I feel like that's where I'm about to start heading, actually, is talking less about the quitting and talking more about the things that I'm noticing, and the things that are going on in the world around me, maybe, and using this as a place for me to get my thoughts out, now that they're happening more clearly and happening more sort of functionally. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, God. Excuse me. That's all I have for you. Ka kite.